Alright guys, hey, so let's get right down to it. Welcome to the very first video review and kind of discussion, I guess you could say. I want to dive into some things I've been seeing lately in the cigar world as I work through the cigar and kind of sections. And I was really wanting to put this all on video, and because it seemed like after the cigar tour, people really liked that, and I feel like I could do it more. I've always thought I kind of have a face for radio, but hey, you know what? Whatever. If you guys like listening to me and even watching me run my mouth, then I guess we'll make that work. So hey, today we are going to be checking out the Caldwell Eastern Standard. This is in the now I'm forgetting the size. It's a Churchill. They have a funny name for it, but it's a 44 by 70, so it's slightly bigger than a Lancero, but it's the same. It's just that 7-inch long, like very very nice, size cigar. Honestly, like between that Lancero, the Lonsdale, and then even up to the Churchill, probably some of my favorite sizes in cigars. So really great stuff there. So yeah, this was I actually was given this whenever I bought a bunch of Caldwell and Lost and Found stuff from Terrible Cigar Club. They're a fairly new club. They're a shop. They're not like a club in the traditional sense of like cigars every month type deal. So yeah, I bought a bunch of stuff from them. I was given a little tipper from Mr. Caldwell himself through Instagram. He said, "Hey, check these guys out. They got a bunch of stuff live on the site now. It's not going, they're not talking about it until tomorrow. So if you want to really get your hands on some old stuff, some vintage stuff, some things that you probably otherwise wouldn't be able to find, this is a great way to start." I am pairing that, as I'm sure you guys can see, with the remnants of a barrel pick, Yellowstone barrel pick from Lit Cigar Lounge, one that they did, I believe it was last year. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess it would be last year now, considering that it's now 2022 and already halfway through February at that. So I'm gonna cut this guy and we're gonna talk a little bit. So it does have a nice little pigtail. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Connecticut, and it also features some Dominican and Nicaraguan fillers and binders. They didn't really say. It was kind of vague the way that they talked about it, so whatever. Lost and Found in Caldwell typically, or a lot of the times, are fairly vague about when they talk about what their makeups are. I say genetic makeup, what their build outs are of their cigars. So I'm gonna light into this guy. Now, I didn't cold draw this. Usually I do, and so I kind of forgot to. I think it's all the excitement of doing a video with you guys for the first time. But no, but as soon as I cut it, I could smell it, like straight off the bat, like lots of cedar and almost like a creamy note in there as well. So it kind of remains true in there. I mean, really really rich cream, some light spice, like a light black pepper, and then lots of woody notes, and then some other sweetness in there as well. We'll see how that progresses, as this thing kind of goes on. So I'm gonna let this burn a little bit. When I come back in, once I'm a little bit farther into the cigar, and I got a little bit more to update you kind of off the foot, some things I wanted to talk about with you guys. Things like that I've seen in the cigar world, especially here recently this week, that I think that general consensus, I would say, is not the greatest in the world. And it makes me kind of worried for where cigar culture is going to go if we continue down this road. So hey, I'll be back here in a few minutes. Cheers. A little bit of a light touch-up. I use a soft flame most of the time. I got away from using torches. I still have lots of torch lighters that I use, but I really have been digging the soft flame lately. Good buddy of mine, Mark, gave me that one for Christmas. This one here. It's really cool. It's the traditional flip the top, scratch that. Really cool lighter. I absolutely love it. Don't know the name brand of it. He gave it to me as a gift, and I absolutely love this lighter. It's one of my go-to ones. It's the one I take everywhere. So now that I'm diving back in, this has definitely progressed exceptionally well. The burn is crazy clean. Very, very nice. Like, damn near completely white ash. Very, very good burn. Lots of healthy smoke output. As you can see, and how it's kind of changed. Now, there is this super rich, like, chocolate mousse, or even like a milk dud almost, chocolate note, mixing with the super creaminess. Still that good black pepper spice. It's very flavorful. It's not like super sharp and overpowering, but it's also not weak and falling behind where you can't take it. That one hangs out very nicely in the back of your mouth throughout each puff. I realize I say a million times, just kind of how I am, but yeah. So it really is smoking exceptionally well. I'm really glad this is one of the cigars I decided to go with tonight. It's just a very nice smoke so far. Now, what I wanted to get into, right? So recently, I've noticed some things that have been going on, and the biggest thing, and I think it's going to be, in my opinion, the inevitable downfall of the cigar industry. Like, it's what's going to hamper this huge amount of growth that we're all seeing right now. And I say that because, well, as we all know, every single year, more and more regulations get passed against tobacco. Of course, they group cigar, or tobacco that we use in cigars, like actual craft artisan tobacco, as I would call it, in with, sorry if you can hear the train out there. I do have a train track not far from my house, and when that thing rolls through, it is almost exceptionally distracting. Hopefully you guys aren't getting drowned out by that. But, so, what I was saying was, they group all the tobacco in when they make these regulations. They basically group it in with vapes, chewing tobacco, cigarette tobacco, and they all, it's always trying to be controlled, more heavily taxed, blah, 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 all that. Taxation is theft. I think that's BS, right? Tax tobacco. I'm sorry, but that's kind of a load of crap. So, anyway, and that's all, it's all pulled political rhetoric, right? It's all pushed to be, to be some big thing of trying to, ban tobacco in one way or another. Now, cigarettes are not for me, never have been, and frankly, like, if they ban cigarettes, I could care less, but this is obviously very different. And if you've ever smoked a good cigar, this compared to a cigarette, you're comparing, caviar to fish shit. It's different, right? It's a lot different. So anyway, and every year when there's these conflicts, there's these tensions, there's people getting in trouble with the media for the way that they market or perceived in the market, there starts to become, you're starting to get these big problems where more and more and more you see people trying to regulate and ban tobacco because, oh, look at that, it's been marketed to this group or that group or whatever. Now, is it really? I don't really feel that it has been, but I definitely feel that the tobacco market is always very volatile in the way that, it can be so easily affected simply by regulations. So many other countries have so much more strict regulations on how they get tobacco in the country, how it's taxed, if it can even be shipped in. So a lot of issues there. And the reason that I say this, and the reason I think it really is contributing to this, is the literal constant back and forth bickering within the cigar industries and that mob mentality. I say mob mentality. What I mean by that is you get somebody or a group of people together, and they're a huge fan, or they're like that mob mentality. Get your torches and pitchforks out. We're gonna go burn this person down because they disagree with us, or they thought differently than us, or whatever. I'm not talking about people who are fanatics about one particular brand of cigars. I'll call myself a Room 101 fanatic. I've got my humidor sitting over here. It's probably got 3 Room 101 cigars just chilling in there right now that I may smoke one up here in a little bit after I'm done with this. People like that who just enjoy tobacco for the sake of enjoying tobacco, and they're really big on one big brand, is not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that when there's even the slightest amount of controversy, one group says something about this group, or one make brand says something about this another brand. End of the day, people are always going to talk. It is what it is, you know. But the constant arguing, bickering, fighting amongst each other is really going to destroy, you know, the whole, I'll say, craft tobacco boutique cigar movement. Because, you know, everybody, you know, this is not a fixed market. Like, I'm sorry, but I buy so much tobacco, so many cigars. Like, I really don't think that, you know, I ever isolate all of my money into one company. Well, I shouldn't say I do isolate a lot of my money into one company. Thanks, Matt Booth. But, you know, one club, one shop. I like to spread the love around a little bit, you know, like peace and love. Like, hey, it's you know, I'm like, you know, Cigar Woodstock. I like to spread it around a little bit. You know, I don't have to worry about getting STDs in this case, but you know what I mean. So this week, you know, you see the controversy of people isolating their heads, their minds, the way that they view tobacco, the way that they view the industry, and what they think is the best stuff on the market, and then they're aggressive towards other people if other people disagree with that. So, like, you know, screw you if you don't like this type, this club, and I'm speaking in particular, like, Privado Cigar Club is a great example. I'm part of Privado Cigar Club, have been for over a year. I love the club; it's great. I love what Brian does. However, I really think that it detracts from what he tries to do when, you know, you get like the Facebook groups and there are things out there where it's like, it's the, you know, get your torches and pitchforks out every time somebody might have something negative to say about Privado. You know what? If somebody wants to talk shit about your club, whatever, man. Like, at the end of the day, you know, you can make a big stink about it, you can talk about it, you can be mad about it, but the more that we divide amongst ourselves, the weaker that we get in the cigar industry, the weaker that, you know, that we all are in fighting what inevitably is going, you know, what inevitably tries to go on every year, and that's more restrictions passed on tobacco. It drives me nuts. I mean, you know, I've had people comment to me saying that, you know, if I'm in one club group and I say something about another club, like, oh, you shouldn't say that type of stuff in here, that's not for that. Like, listen, one, people are always sharing different cigars they got from different places. Clubs are meant to be a friendly camaraderie, like, team together. If you got something that you think is the best cigar in the world, but it's not from the club, still talk about it. I want to know. I want people to know. Other people should know. And when you get a cigar, like for instance in this case it was the Davidoff Limited Edition 2022, you know, it was a fantastic smoke. Or it's fixing out to be a fantastic smoke. People are talking about it with very high regard. But it's $37 a stick or $36 a stick, and that's if you can get it at retail. And I do have a little bit of pitting. That's probably just because of how I'm smoking. I'm stopping and starting, but that's okay. I think that's too big of a deal. So, you know, I'm also a part of a cigar club, a monthly club called Perfect Cigar Blend. They do really awesome because they just do all kinds of tobacco. And I have their gold membership or whatever. It's $60 a month, very reasonable for what you get. And when I opened that box up and I pulled those cigars out, mind you, all about hit the floor when I saw a Davidoff LE 2022 in there. I just pay $60 a month for that club. I get 6 to 12 cigars, and one of them this month was the $37, $36, you know, Davidoff Limited Edition for 2022. That's awesome. That's a great deal. A lot of people out there say, I don't, you know, is it really worth spending that kind of money on a cigar? I like to share the facts, like, hey, if you guys, even if you join the club for a month, you can get this cigar for basically $15 because you're getting 6 other cigars. Actually, no, it's less than that. I'm sorry, $10. It's late. My math is bad. But, you know, I think I'm going out here. So the problem, you know, I'm seeing this kind of happen, and it's discouraging. It's discouraging to me because I want people to enjoy tobacco because that's why we're all doing this, right? That's why these clubs have started. It's for the love of tobacco, right? And we're not, and the mob mentality of always like the moment that somebody wants to talk down on what you do, whatever. And I'm all about saying your piece, standing your ground, being John Wayne toilet paper, and that's not taking shit off of anybody. Listen, that's great, but there comes a time where sometimes that rule of just being silent is the best way to go about it. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have anything to say, fine. They can't say anything bad about you for not responding to them if you're attacking them, or you're making a comment, or posting on your story, or posting on your feed. I mean, this week Arturo Fuente, Fuente, now I can't think of his name, commented or made a story post or a post or whatever, calling people out that market to children. Now, this isn't limited to one group of people. I'll just say that. There's no one group of people, or there's no just one group of people that has cartoony or more animated style bands. Lots of different companies do it. I mean, hell, there was a friggin' astronaut, like a cartoony astronaut on the Johnny Tobacconaut this year. Like, there's lots of different stuff that could be construed as marketed to children. But, let's be honest, there aren't kids like going to, cigar shops and trying to buy cigars underage. It just doesn't happen. It's not like, kids paying their older brother or their cousin or an older buddy to go buy cigarettes at the gas station. This shit happens all the time. It's a different world, it's a different market. And it's unfortunate to see that there's such this division, and Luxury Cigar Club can be the same way. I know that they've had some things to say about Pravada. I like Luxury Cigar Club. I've bought many hundreds, thousands of dollars worth of cigars from them. I have no problem with them whatsoever. And I really hope that no matter what, they continue to release great stuff into the market, great stuff out there that they can go and get. You can buy, like you can get your hands on. That's the idea. Seeing this division in cigars is sad. It's unfortunate. And I'm going to get more to that in a little bit. I'm going to take a break here. I'm going to smoke a little bit more of this because it's just unfortunately gone out because I talked too long. But I'll come back with some more notes. We'll talk about it a little bit more. And then we'll kind of continue this chat on where I think, how we should be able to fix this, how we should go about, uniting the cigar community as opposed to dividing it. All right? Cheers. All right, guys. I am about halfway through of this awesome Caldwell Eastern Standard. This is the cream crush size, by the way, and I mistakenly said earlier that it was a 44 by 70. Don't know what kind of metric that is, but no, it's a 48 by 7. My bad. I apparently just can't speak this evening. So, back to what I was saying earlier. Actually, before we get into that, the cigar. Honestly, it's fantastic. I mean, it hasn't really changed a whole lot. About halfway through, like I said. Still lots of creamy notes. There's still that very rich chocolate, very woody notes. And sorry if you can hear some of the wind. I had to close the flaps on the tent because the wind all of a sudden picked up in here and it's chilly. So I closed the flaps on the tent and kicked the fire up a little bit to not freeze my ass entirely off. So, so it honestly, it's fantastic. I mean, it's the woody notes. There's lots of oak and there's a little bit of mixed cedar remnants in there. So it's really nice, very sweet. Medium-bodied, creamy, smooth smoke. And I'm really enjoying it. But anyway, back to what I was saying with the whole thing with that mob mentality. I mean, we're not in this to be after everybody for a difference in opinion. And if somebody has a negative opinion about it, just treat it like life. I mean, for fuck's sake. Don't be out there making some big, huge deal every time everybody says to talk something bad about your back, behind your back. Go do what you gotta do. Live your life. Don't. I mean, who cares? If you're doing awesome work and you're making waves in the market, there's always gonna be people, old school people, who don't like it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, again, I'll say it, in regards to people saying that, you know, cigars have been marketed to kids, I really don't feel like that's true. I mean, I've never seen, I mean, cigars are such an adult, you know, heavy market. I mean, you don't see a lot of young kids, even, you know, 21, and I say young, early 20s kids smoking cigars. You just don't see it very often. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of them out there. I mean, I've been smoking cigars since I was like 16, well, probably even younger. I was probably like 15, 16 years old. You know, I've been smoking cigars for 15 years now. And I, you know, and sometimes we're more heavily than others. Like right now, I think I've smoked more cigars in the last year than I smoked in my entire life. But I mean, it's fantastic, and it's just a wonderful thing to enjoy. And you know, you build those memories in as you smoke. Don't ruin that for yourself or for anybody else. You know, like at the end of the day, enjoy what you do, or enjoy what you smoke. Love what you smoke. Be passionate about it. But you know, there's no need to, one, make personal jabs at other people. Period. I mean, there's just no need for that. You know, there's also no need to, you know, rally the troops every time someone talks negatively about what you're doing in the cigar industry. Sorry, that's kind of flapping now pretty big. Yeah, tent kind of comes in. But, you know, there's no need for that. Enjoy what you're doing. Have fun with it. And you know, it's just do what you can to share that with other people. You know, so anyway, before I get, you know, go any farther in that, if I even do at this point, I'm really happy to be able to do this type of stuff. I mean, you know, now that we're getting a little closer to spring, this type of stuff will be much more easily done, you know, when I'm not dealing with, like, you know, teens in the evenings and stuff like that. It's a balmy, like 41 degrees right now here. The wind is just a little bit colder than I prefer to enjoy. So, you know, as we go through this, as we smoke, you know, smoke some new stuff that's coming out, stuff that came out last year, stuff that I've bought handfuls of, smoked but never talked about. You know, I really am enjoying this journey. I'm going to keep blogging. I'm going to keep doing all kinds of fun stuff on the blog. Like, I'm primarily, you know, it's going to be multiple posts a week as I've been doing. And then hopefully, if I can, at least a few of these a month, like little video reviews. And then I don't want to just do like a video review, you know, like I want to talk about stuff, man. I love reviewing cigars, and there's a million of them out there. And I like to talk, you know, I like to talk about things, invoke conversation, get people thinking, get people, you know, maybe it's against what most people think. You know, maybe what I said earlier is, you know, everybody's, you know, people are gonna friggin' hate me for saying that, you know, and whatever. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we're all here for a pretty short amount of time, relatively speaking. I ain't got time to worry about what club said what about what cigar they're smoking. God bless, you know, struggle busting here. No, this is just gonna work right now. So, as things continue, you know, down the road this year, lots of great releases coming out. Lots of new stuff hitting the shelves. I know Viaje's got some more stuff coming out here pretty soon. I know, you know, Romacraft has some great releases coming all year long, as per the usual. And there's just a lot of really great things in the works, and I'm really excited. I'm going to be going on a trip in March, going out there with the CEO of Craft and Puro. We're going out to Utah, so we'll be doing some podcasts, we'll be doing some videos, we'll be doing all kinds of fun stuff out by, you know, the fire and out in the desert, just enjoying life and living it up as best we can. Now, this whiskey's exceptional, by the way. I mean, honestly, any barrel pick from Yellowstone's a win. I've never found one that I didn't like. Unfortunately, this is the last of it. Lots of citrus, lots of cherry. You know, vanilla, super good. Highly recommend. I mean, that was such a good pick. You know, so, I mean, really though, I really love if you guys commented on this video. Tell me what you're looking forward to smoking. Leave your opinion, even if you hated what I have to say. I would love to hear what you're putting out there, what your feelings are about this, and all that, and you know, like, so as it all goes, everybody's gonna think a little bit differently. So I'm gonna smoke a little bit farther in this, get it relit again, because every time I talk it goes out apparently. We'll go from there. I'll be back towards the end of this guy, and we can wrap this sucker up. Really appreciate it, guys. Cheers. All right, we're back. I'm back. We are who we are, but I'm back. Last little bit of this cigar. Honestly, this has been phenomenal. So, in this, as it progressed, that last little section, this last third, whatever you want to call it, I mean, it really changed a lot. A lot of that, creamy smoke, that chocolatiness that we had earlier, largely died out. Which is always interesting to see how that happens, right? So you always seem to get, and it's the tobacco heating up, it's the the collection of the oils at the end of the cigar, all that, But it's just, this one turned into something I wasn't really expecting. This one has this really salty, almost like a beef jerky, like salted meats, dried meats kind of quality to it, and it was just really good. I mean, there's some hickory in there, so you think of like homemade beef jerky. I'm from the Midwest, right? I hunted when I was younger. Lots of beef jerky was made when I was a kid. And it was really good. It's really rich. It's really good. I really wasn't expecting it to go that way. But yeah, like that awesome, like, dried smoked meats quality is in there. Still lots of pepper. That's one thing that has absolutely not changed, is that really good flavorful black pepper throughout the entire duration of the cigar. I would really need to get my hands on some more of these, and the nice thing is you can. They're not hard to find. They're out there. I mean, this one's there's a good amount of age on it, but I mean, just man, you just get in there, and there still is some of that sweetness remaining, but I mean, just in that retro and on your tongue, in your mouth, it leaves that very good, like, I would say, mesquite smoked dried meats, and it's absolutely phenomenal. So, and you know what, like, I really am excited to see what this year brings. I really hope that it was as great of a year for tobacco as it was in 2021. I mean, there were so many great releases last year that it never ceases to amaze me how insanely much my humidor grew last year. Because I mean, frankly, I buy way more than I smoke. I'll admit it. I try to smoke at least one a day. I mean, sometimes I get 2 in. The weekends are usually more than 1. But dude, this has just been a really awesome experience. And to be able to share this on the video has been really awesome. Really looking forward to doing more of these. To the discussion that I had earlier, I wasn't aiming to make anybody upset or piss anybody off or anything like that. I really just think that, like, as we grow in this cigar industry, as it continues to boom the way it is right now, the whole reason behind the cigars is enjoying the moment, enjoying the experience, making memories, and doing that. And it's always better to do that with friends. And like, it doesn't matter, if you're a part of a club, if you're not part of a club, if you're super heavy on one type of cigar smoke, or one type of cigar, one blender, one brand, one whatever, just enjoy it, man, because this type of stuff is what I love. I don't think anybody can argue with Caldwell, Lost and Found, all of that. It's just always a great thing. And sorry if you can hear the neighbors are yelling at a dog. I think some might have gone out, but yeah. So hey, I'm gonna smoke the rest of this, wrap this up, call it a day. Thank you again for joining me. After, when this video finishes up, see all the information to my page. Please go subscribe on YouTube. Please go follow, subscribe to the blog. Follow me on Instagram. I love when new people follow me. I'm always willing to follow people back. I mean, this is just what I love. This is what I'm passionate about. I mean, tobacco really is one of the greatest things out there, and to enjoy, across the board. So, hey, I'll be back soon with more videos. I'm going to keep doing this type of stuff here and there a couple times a month, because it's just fun. It's different, and talking as opposed to writing. A lot less work on the typing end, a lot more work on the video editing end, but it's not all that bad. Again, thank you again for joining me. Down the road, maybe I'll start like a Patreon or something for some people if you guys want to, get some more exclusive content. I do lots of fun stuff on the side, lots of cool things. I love to cook, I love to drink, I love to do pairings, like all that good stuff. And of course, there'll be some, I'll throw in lots of giveaways, things like that. If I kind of decide to go that route, I'm still kind of on the fence. But hey, here's to you guys. Thank you again. Have a great evening. Have a fun weekend. You know, go whatever team you're rooting for in the Super Bowl. And I'll see you back soon. I'll have this video up tomorrow for you guys to check out. So thanks again. Have a great night. And we will, see you very soon. Cheers, guys. Thank you.